If you've watched my YouTube videos, you'd be familiar with my journey with poor mental health. I suffered severely for about 3 years before I did anything about it, when I then went on to medication, and I've well documented through my previous videos my experience and journey using Sertraline and SSRIs to recover. One of the big things that I really needed over that time was the ability to talk to someone. Talking therapy is fantastic. It's really great. It's prescribed by doctors. It's available now virtually. And it's something that really we should all be using and doing on a regular basis. But the problem with talk therapy is it's very expensive. During that period where I was feeling really low, I really couldn't afford seeing a therapist or a psychotherapist. You know, in London, in the UK where I am, it could be around sort of £100 for 50 minutes. And really that wasn't affordable for me. At the same time, there are a lot of helplines, and I'm sure wherever you are in the world, you've got mental health helplines. Here in the UK, the big one is Samaritans. There's another one, a text service called Shout. The problem I found with these services were that growing up, I never felt they were marketed towards someone like me. When I think about the Samaritans, you think about people calling up who are really depressed or feeling suicidal. You know, when you walk across bridges in London, you see the Samaritans plaque where it says, you know, if you're thinking of jumping, for example, please call. And that's kind of how it's always been sort of marketed, in my opinion. So when I was really struggling and going through my issues, it not once occurred to me that I could call the Samaritans. That's not to say they wouldn't have been really helpful, but it just wasn't something that sort of jumped out as an option for me. I was going about my day-to-day life, I was working, I was meeting friends, I just wasn't myself. I wasn't feeling good. I used to wake up feeling really anxious. Fast forward a few years, and in 2020, when I was feeling much better, the medication really kicked in. I had worked for ages on my sort of the mindfulness side of things. I was thinking to myself, God, how amazing would it be if during that time I had a way of just being able to book a call with someone for free. You know, if someone who would want to listen to me talk, you know, in a non-judgmental capacity, who would just hear me and then kind of put the phone down. I would never have to speak to them again. Kind of like what the Samaritans is, but just not for people who are in crisis. I wasn't in crisis, and that's kind of a service I could have really have benefited from. I necessarily didn't need intense therapy with a professional, but at the time, maybe just talking to someone who wasn't going to judge me, who was just going to listen, not necessarily give me advice either. Because the problem is when we sometimes talk to friends and family, they feel compelled to help us. They feel compelled to give advice, and they kind of take it upon themselves to fix us, when really that's not what we're looking for. With this idea in mind, and kind of looking back to kind of some of the things I could have really have done with, I sort of set about a plan on what this product might look like. I spoke to a friend of mine who I work with. I work in the tech space. I've run a few startups in the past, and I started to think about what this product could be. This was 2020. The pandemic was kind of in its peak. You know, this idea of people really sort of suffering with mental health and isolation was becoming a major media topic. And I thought to myself, God, this product could really help a lot of people who don't even know that they may be about to sort of embark upon depression or some form of poor mental health. And really over the last few years, that's kind of what I've been working on the side. And I'd like to introduce you to Zeal. Zeal is a mental well-being platform. We're an app available in the iOS and Android store. And essentially what we do is we connect people together. So on one hand, we've got users like me or potentially you who are looking to talk to someone. You might just kind of need, you know, there may be days where you just feel that you could value someone listening to you. So on one side we've got users, and on the other side we've got listeners. Our listeners are volunteers who are volunteering their time. They want to give up their time to listen to people who need that support. They are trained as mental health first aiders as a very basic qualification. So they're really good at sort of non-judgmental listening. And some of them are counselors and psychotherapists. And yeah, the idea is that you come on the app, you select which time and date you want to have a call. That is then sent to the team of volunteers who pick up the request, and then they confirm that date and time that they are able to do as well, and then the user gets confirmation, and then when that time comes, you will, as a user, will get a phone call from one of our lovely volunteers, and the calls last from about 30 minutes to an hour, and you can book as many calls as you want, as frequently as you want. Within the app, we also have an area where you can journal, you can practice gratitude, all the tools that I kind of felt I needed but didn't have, and things I had to kind of learn and pick up myself. We've included them within the app. And there's also an area where there are articles about various topics around mental well-being and medication, or just kind of general lifestyle stuff. We launched at the end of last year, and January has been so busy. Honestly, it's been crazy. I mean, I think it's just a tough time for a lot of people, regardless of your mental state. But it's been really, really good in the sense that we've been able to help a lot of people. The app is free, so people are coming, booking 2-3 calls over the span of a few weeks, which has been really good. I'm also a qualified mental health first aider, so I've been doing some of the calls, and just to kind of, it's really weird just being on the other side, being able to talk to people and support them through also my own experience. I really have that kind of connection and that kind of understanding, which has been really helpful, I feel, for me to be able to relate to people. As I said, the app is free, and there is this idea of monetizing at some point, because I never really started this to be a charity. I know when I was going through my difficult days, I didn't feel like, it's that common thing about I'm not a charity case, but I genuinely didn't feel I needed the support of a charity. I kind of just needed almost like, I don't know what I needed. I just knew that I wanted tools for me to be able to figure it out myself. And really, with the way we've branded Zeal and the kind of the feel of Zeal and the app that we've created, I hope that message comes across, where we're more of a lifestyle product. And within a lifestyle product, you can have a charitable endeavor. We can be a support network, and really that's what I want Zeal to be. Is I want to kind of create this space where people can dive into, learn about self-investment, self-development, do a few exercises, maybe book a call with someone, and then go into their day feeling really positive and kind of feel like they're not alone. And really that brings me on to kind of like the other fundamental part of the app is anything that we plan to build or anything that we've implemented, it's that kind of, there's that foundation of a human element. I think there's too many apps out there in the app stores these days, which kind of people think that by putting a really smart robot in front of people can solve these issues, this mental health, sort of international mental health crisis that we're going through. And really, as much as technology plays a big part, and technology is a big part of our product, it's not robots that people need. People want human interaction. I was talking to someone via the app the other day, and she said, oh God, just to hear your voice and just to kind of be hearing someone who's just friendly, who could give me a few minutes of their time, is just more valuable than anything I've had all week. And that for me it just really cemented this idea of kind of human connection, bringing people together, having a human element in anything that we put into the app. So at the moment we're only a UK based service, because as soon as you sort of expand outside of the UK, there are all sorts of other laws that we have to abide by. So if you're in the UK and you feel that you could really benefit from using the app, please give it a try. I would love your feedback. As we are sort of growing this day by day, it's a really very slow process at the moment, because I really want to make sure that we're kind of iterating slowly. My plan is, and I hope we can sort of expand into Europe. I know there are services out there in the US that it's by like text and things like that, but I'm really keen on growing the call service around the UK and sort of beyond as soon as we can, really. So I really hope that you could give it a try if you're in the UK. I'd love your feedback. You can email me directly with some feedback if you like, and I hope it's valuable. I kind of wish I had Zeal when I was sort of going through sort of some hard days. I plan to use it myself, because there are some days I wake up and I still don't feel 100%, and I think that will be like that for the rest of my life. And it's kind of really nice to know that we can provide a service that doesn't feel pressured. There isn't that kind of sort of pressure to have to talk about something that's major in your life. It could be anything. I heard someone the other day saying, I just got home from a really busy day at work and I couldn't really talk to my wife. I just needed to vent to someone. I didn't want to put that pressure on my wife. And I used Zeal and, got to talk to someone, and it was just a really great opportunity for me to kind of get things off my chest and then sort of go back to my family and get on with my day. And it's these testimonials that kind of really validate the initial idea. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys can download the app and check it out. Even if you're not in the UK, you can still use some of our other tools. We have a great journaling tool, a great gratitude tool. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I've been wanting to share this for such a long time, but it's just been really busy. And I've just been looking for the right time to kind of share it with everyone. So please check it out and send me your thoughts. Good or bad, I'm open to it. I'm open to it all. I hope you have a really great day, and I shall catch you in my next video. Thanks.